Welcoming you all in. Thank you for pivoting. For some reason, YouTube was being weird. It showed on our end that we were live, but it wasn't actually streaming it. So apparently YouTube is not yet ready for a live Krystic activation, and that is okay. We have Zoom, which is perfect. It allows us to be in this intimate space together, which is how we've always done it. So welcome in for those of you. I see a lot of friendly faces and a couple new. So we are going to be having a very unique technique coming through tonight. And you're going to need some type of strap, like a scarf or a belt or a rope or just anything that you can tie. Uh, and we're actually going to go ahead and tie it up to start so that once we're in the activation, you don't really want to think. So a little bit about what I know about this technique thus far, and to give you a little bit of a backstory uh, to share about this, is that we are entering into a liberation wave tonight. And this one is different in that a lot of the liberation waves that we've been running have been in the energetic body, the energetic Templar of the planet, and then in our spirit bodies. Some of you have been running them with me for a long time. Some of you have been running your own version. Some of you have been actively doing grid work on the planet. We've all been in it if we're here together. Now we're moving into the next phase of our mission where we can really start to heal at the physical level, tap back into the liberation of our actual density one body, of our actual physical vessel. So tonight's technique that is coming through, and maybe Alex, you want to share a little bit about the 8 cycle, or you don't have to, there's no pressure. Yeah, no,
Too complicated.
too complicated for right now. Maybe in a future video, we'll do a little transmission. To make it short, we are going to be working to reset the somatic layers of our body to allow our body to release the trauma of being essentially kept in golden handcuffs, kept like this liberated, incredible consciousness that has had its hands tied behind its back or has not been able to utilize all of the abilities of our vessels and of our bodies because of the reversals that have been running through the planet, because of the Vesica Pisces, like literally the golden handcuffs. There's a lot with the 8s and the 4/8s that we have right now between the 8 octant cycle and then the August 8th, 2024, which is an 8. And we are here to essentially utilize this. We're going to be utilizing it because we want to have any part of our somatic layer that has been holding on to pain, sadness, grief, all these different things. We're basically going to bring our body through the process consciously of having our hands unable to be utilizing our hands, and your hands are like your magic wands of creation. Recently, new energies have started coming through where literally my hands are just like nonstop going and coding and moving and bending and everything of this nature. And a lot of our supernatural, which are completely natural, extraordinary, ordinary abilities that are going to be coming back online rapidly over the next 5 years. Shorter for some. This is like at a collective level, 5 years. For a lot of the people that are running activations, really 2025 is a big year for a lot of abilities to start really fully coming back online. And we're now preparing our body for that. So I do wish to share that there may come some moments where things come up for you in this process. The guardians wish for everyone here to know that you are so deeply safe. This is why we're doing it in this safe container where you are fully in the autonomy of choice, in the sense that you are the one that is going to be wrapping this around your hands however you want. And you are the one that's going to unwrap it. So we're going to go through this process of running different frequencies through our different layers of our bodies and bringing to the surface anything that is still holding on to this notion that it's safer to be bound. Whew, that one is going to be a big one to clear collectively, because there is and has been these imprinted layers in our physical vessels and in our spirit bodies that has conditioned people to believe that it is safer to be bound, to not be running your full power in your body, to not be seen, to not be visible, to not have your magic coursing through your veins, to not be fully running all of the energy that you are here to run for your mission, for your purpose, for your dharma, for the Krystic Templar. And that is because of, just so many layers of drama and war that has been playing out throughout dimensions for millions of years, and everyone has been involved in different ways, in different lifetimes, in different versions, and that then ripples down into the lifetime where you are remembering and reclaiming, which is for all of us here, this vessel, this body, this moment, this time, this planet, this dimension. So the idea of our technique tonight that's coming through is going to help us to bring up anything that needs to be released here so that we can all fully claim our liberation, because the planet is fully liberated now. The Planetary Templar has been fully reclaimed. And at this point, now humanity can rapidly catch up to the planet. And we're being invited to catch a major wave to liberate the species and to really start building a new experience of what it means to be stewards of this earth. So, for those of you who've just joined in, that was a little backstory about making sure that you have some type of ribbon or scarf or tie that you can utilize to tie at some point. And I found that I was just, playing around, that I just put a little knot at the end that I can slip both of my hands freely in and out of. So I can, it's very large. I can slip both of my hands very freely in and out of them, so that you're not actually in handcuffs. With the process that we're going to be going through is going to allow for any part of you that has some type of somatic pain around this experience that has been happening to all beings of this earth and beyond. So I found that once I have it on, I can just kind of twist it. So then when we get to the point where we're liberating, I just have to untwist my hands and I can get free. So that's a really easy way of going about doing it. So you can have it already tied for when we get to that point. So you don't have to think about, how do I tie this? So hope that was clear. Hope that was a nice little intro for everyone. And I feel now that we are good to go, that there's not going to be people jumping in from this point forward. So for those of you who have never been to a live wave activation with me, hello, welcome. It's so nice to have some new faces. It's so nice to feel so many beautiful beings who've been on this mission with us, on this journey with us for years and really lifetimes. And to be here in this moment where we are starting to now get really into the density and into the body, and liberating the body is just brings me so much joy and excitement. I know that this is the moment that so many of us here came for. So to just understand this, for those of you who are new, there may be times when I say things that don't make sense to your mind. Feel it in your body. I might talk about some point and it has a language to it, has a word to it that describes that point. I'll do my best to share where it is anatomically in the body, as well as the spirit name for it, so that you can know where that is and start to learn, or rather remember. And other times, just really trust your body, because your body and your spirit body knows everything that I'm saying, even if your mind doesn't. So just trust your body's knowing of where to direct energy as I guide us through that process. The other thing about a live wave is that there's going to be moments when I'm quiet as I'm translating the wave as it's happening. So I'm quiet because I'm listening to the energy that's coming through and the guidance that we're receiving. So in those moments, just breathe, just be in meditation. You will likely be having an experience inside of yourself of energy and frequency. So I just like to preface that so you don't think that like something's happened with the Zoom or anything like that. It really is just me being quiet because I'm receiving the transmission. So let us all take a moment and make sure we're nice and cozy, that you are in a seated position, or you could be lying down, though you will want to sit up once we start using our ties, because I mean, I guess you could do it lying down too, if that is more comfortable. But I always just like to say, if you feel like you're going to fall asleep during this, then it may just be best to stay seated. Have yourself be nice and cozy. Make sure that your root is nice and open so you can just lift up the seat, lift up your glutes, and just make sure your root is really connected to the floor or the chair or the earth. Just closing your eyes and taking a couple of nice long deep breaths in and out. Just settle, just arrive, just let go of all the discussion that has happened. And just start to bring yourself into that rhythmic meditative space within. You may feel the energy moving already through your body. You may feel calm. You may feel all different types of things throughout this experience. Your body may get hot. It may get cold. You may feel different energies moving. You may see things. You may hear things. You may be receiving what I'm about to share moments before, because we're all in a live wave together. So all of those things can happen. It doesn't happen to everyone. There is no right or wrong here. Just prefacing that your experience is shared experience. I'm going to be quiet here as I start to tune into the first steps of our technique that we're receiving here, the liberation technique. And whilst I'm quiet, just continuing to deepen yourself into your meditation. So we're going to start building some energetic waves moving through our body. So if you are seated, ensure that you are seated upright, that you have a nice elongation through the back of your neck, especially. So your chin is slightly tucked in, your crown is lifted, your shoulders are relaxed so that your upper back can open. And you're going to start breathing energy up and down your spine. With each breath, the energy travels up and then it travels down, and just keep running the breath, deepening the breath each and every time, and really starting to channel a lot of energy inside of your body. You can visualize that energy as a color. You can visualize it as shapes. You can just feel it moving. You can just intend that it's happening, or you can just focus on your breath. You want your breath to start to get deeper, more audible, and more potent. We're going to do this for a couple of minutes here to really start to build and connect us more intimately as well with our bodies. Bringing more spirit, more energy into our body through increasing oxygen to our blood. So we're going to be receiving a couple of metallic waves tonight. So they're going to have colors that are very metallic, like metallic gold and silver, various different shades and hues of each of those metallic coppers, just all of the metallic spectrum of all the colors. But primarily gold is going to be a really influential sequence of energy coming through. And if you would like to already start to connect to that, you can imagine the color gold as you are building this energy, because it's going to start to resonate with the waves that are going to be coming through the planet here, actually coming from inside the inner domains of the planet. So it's kind of like emerging from within and out. You can imagine a flower blossoming open. So just keep deepening that breath and coursing that energy. I'm feeling that vertical vibration of your breath up and down your body. And as you become aware of that energy that's just naturally flowing up and down through your meridians, through your oxytonal lines, through your breath, you just let go of that awareness of that vibration and just fine tune your senses a little bit to feel into the horizontal vibrations that are running left and right, right and left, back and forth inside of your body, of your plasma body. I'm just focusing on feeling for, and sometimes if, to train yourself to be more into the subtle vibrations of the back and forth, you can actually take your hand in front of your body and just kind of go back and forth with it, swaying it left and right to just feel, and then let your hand stay still for a second, and you'll just feel that pulsing of energy back and forth, and just try to take that deeper and deeper into your body. You can even sway your body back and forth. Everyone has that horizontal back and forth frequency of your plasma body, and it just takes tuning in more and more subtly to that vibration of the horizontal movement. And once you have started to track it and feel it in your own unique way, seeing if you can link together and become aware of the vibration that's going vertically and the vibration that's going horizontally in your body right now, creating this macrocosm of an energy grid that's swirling through all of your systems, all of your organs, all of your functions, all of your spirit body, and it's also radiating outside of your body as well into your larger spirit body. And just staying with your breath as you're tuning in more and more to the more subtle and subtle frequencies that are moving through you at all times. And then I want us to zero in at one point inside of our body. Any point, wherever you can zero in is totally perfect. That you can go to, we have the horizontal vibration, we have the vertical vibration, and they're crossing each other, right, at the grid. So see if you can go to a single point inside of your body where the vertical and the horizontal energy pathways meet. and just dial into the synapse, the like explosion of energy as these pathways travel through each other. And they're telling me right now that wherever you just went inside of your body is currently where your energy has been stagnant the most, and you've just opened it up. And I guess there's several layers now that we've just been given another technique of being able to go and quickly assess and move and unlock energy in your body. They're just going to wherever the crossing is at the point where the energy is stagnating, and just bringing awareness there, consciousness there, allows the energy to spark and move and open. But every single crossing point, so the reason why they're having us go into this space is because every single one of these crossing points, and this grid ripples out through your body, and it's rippling out into your spirit body. It's also rippling out into the inner domains and into the dot matrix and into all these different places. So there's so many layers and so many dimensions that we can access change. Today in this technique, we're really going to be utilizing this to access change and liberation at the physical density 1 earthly plane here. Just know that you can really take this technique that we're given today and grow with it if you choose. So these crossing points are where all the information is like a highway, a super highway of information that's traveling all throughout your body, all throughout all the systems and structures between your spirit body of your plasma body vibrating left and right horizontally and your anatomical form, right? So in a moment, we're going to be placing ourselves into our ties with our hands, and the majority of people here are going to have the most amount of somatic information and memory come up with their hands tied up here behind their backs, because many of your experiences of the deepest layers of this have been in your past, or how we would experience the past here in our human form is already happened, it's simultaneously happening now. There's a couple that are in the field that are actually going to find that they're having the more visceral somatic memory and information and like discomfort of things coming to the surface with their hands twisted up in their tie in front of themselves, because there is a deeper energetic fear of the future than information kind of from the past. And these are going to be some maybe younger souls of coming into these spaces. So really just feel in for a second, because we want to have an experience where there is a bit of discomfort that's going to come up. We want to have, we're going to be evoking emotions and processing and information that our body has been holding on to from being in a realm where our hands have been bound and our spirit has been bound and unfree and not able to fully run energy and be the divine essence with our full abilities online here. And then the lifetimes that you've come into this plane and you've tapped into some of your abilities and have had just horrific things happen. So we want to unravel that, and this process is going to bring up. So it's so important that you stay with us to the end of this technique, because it's going to unravel and then release. And it will potentially get uncomfortable for a moment in time. That moment when it's uncomfortable is when we are going to be releasing, right? There's going to be a release happening. So if you let any fear that comes up win and just kind of pull away, we can't be sure that your nervous system is going to have the release. So just hold with us to go through the whole process that will be designed. The technique will be designed to have the full release and to feel that liberation and openness on the other side. So For those who were not at the beginning, you're going to have your little tie, and you're going to, any type of tie, doesn't matter, and you're going to go ahead. I found that I just tied it like that so I could slip my hands through easily, and then I'm just twisting my wrist so that it feels like I'm quote unquote bound, even though I'm really not. But we just want to create that somatic experience in our body. So I'm going to just untwist this and put my hands behind my back because that's where my body wishes for this to be. And if yours are in front of you, that's perfect. But just go ahead and let yourself sit in this experience of having your hands be bound. And just taking some nice long deep breaths and just feeling the experience of this. And staying with that grid of energy flowing through your body, we are going to direct our energy to any point. So just like in the beginning, we found a single point that we went and found a crossing of the horizontal and vertical. And at that point was where there was an energy stagnating. Well, what we are going to do is we are going to invite our body intelligence. So say a little prayer, a little blessing, or a little invocation within to connect deeply to the somatic cellular intelligence of your vessel, of your body, of this beautiful, beautiful body that you have chosen in this life. You crafted in the highest divine order. And we would ask that our bodies bring forth and call forth any aspect, any area, any energetic signature within us that has believed that it is safer to be bound and powerless, that it is not safe to fully be in your power here, to run energy, to be the beacon of light, to hold a high vibration, to be seen. And you might start feeling some emotion, you might start feeling some density in your body. What you're going to do is you're going to go to every single point that comes up. Like I just felt this pit in my stomach. So I'm going to bring my consciousness and I'm going to go down and I'm going to find the synapse. So I'm going to find the point where the horizontal and the vertical lines meet, and I'm going to bring my energy there and allow it to spark, to release that. And then likely another point's going to show up and another feeling's going to come, and you're going to keep doing that. You're going to keep bringing your consciousness into every single sensation that happens in your body, every emotion that comes up, every wave that comes up. You now have this grid open and online, and you're bringing that golden consciousness that we've been cultivating, that golden light, which is now streaming in through the inner domains of the planet. So if you feel like, oh, I need more energy, or I'm starting to feel, drained by this, just start to pull that golden light in from all around you as it is being sent through on this wave all around us right now. You could literally breathe it in through your pores. So keep tracking, keep going in. And there may be some that are in clusters. And what I'm experiencing around that is like, it is a much larger energetic signature, this pain body imprint in the soma. And so there's several different little synapses, crossing points in an area of the body that will need to be ignited until you feel the full shift in that area. Just keep calling for more information. Just continue to trust your body. Now that you know how this process is working of unlocking and unlocking and unlocking the energy, freeing the soma, it's just freeing it through the fascia, the tissues, the mushrooms, the muscles, the organs, meridians, the axonals, because you're working at this level of your plasma body and your spirit body, as well as your axonals and your meridians. So there's now a level of trust that's starting to be developed inside of your body that you essentially, quote unquote, know what you're doing, right? So as that trust deepens, your body is going to start presenting maybe ones that are a little bit more moving emotionally or physically or energetically. And it could be lifetimes as well, memories that are being held in the soma. It's continuing to invite any fear of your power, fear of, some evil or fear of dark forces or fear of whatever it is that has kept you from fully running your power here in your body. It could be fear of your body or concern or worry or anxiety or whatever it is, all the different layers. It could be something totally unrelated that comes up inside of you as you have your hands bound here, which has been energetically happening to all of the light fields on this planet, all of the life fields and beings on this planet for a very long time. Just keep being with your breath, keep being with this technique and this process, going deeper and deeper. Ooh. I'm in it fully with you right now too, so simultaneously translating whilst going through this technique at the same time with you. Phew. And just pulling in more of that golden light. So the next layer that we're going to be working on calling forth is any interference fields. Interference fields have many layers to them. They are experiences that have happened to your body. It could be like a very 3D physical interference field is like if you've ever gotten a cut, a scar can create an interference field, or surgery, tattoos can create interference fields. And that's, I have tattoos as well. So it's not any like shame in that regard. I have them as well. Piercings. It's just any time that the body is in any way injured or in any way like a bee sting or a cut or larger surgeries, they create scar tissues. Those scar tissues create interference fields where energy stagnates, organs being removed, things like that. And then we have spirit energy interference fields. So these could be parasitic things. They could be energies that we've been hosting. They could be emotions that have been really deeply buried inside of us, so causing interference fields. So we're going to invite that our body now highlights and points out any and all interference fields in the order at which we can clear them as in serving the highest and best. And again, you're going to Observe what's happening in your body. You're going to take your consciousness, you're going to pull more of that golden light in, you're going to bring it to the point exactly where that the synapse meets, and you're going to allow it to pop open and the energy to start flowing again to clear it. Phew. And they're wanting me to say right now that your body can even regenerate organs that have been removed at the highest level if your power is fully being online and energy fully radiating through your body. That's how miraculous our bodies are when they have full capacity restored, which is what we are in the process of working towards here by releasing and healing and integrating and reopening any layer of the energetic body, the soma, that has been, let's call it stagnating or holding on or in fear as a result of everything that has happened to the human species and to this planet and to beyond it. But we're focused here right now on our bodies, these beautiful bodies. So this third and final wave that we're going to be having come through feels like it may be the ooh, one of the biggest discomfort ones coming forward. So just stay with your technique, stay going into those places, stay with your breath. You know, the deeper we go, the more to the core we get. And these final layers are really going to start to address some of the collective patterns that are in each of our bodies here that keep us from moving in big action. And by big action, I mean action that impacts and changes things at the macro level. As we all know, which is why we're all here, the entire system is collapsing and needs immense change, and it needs a lot of us involved in that change at the forefront of it. And for many of us, that potentially has felt like impossible or too much energy or not wanting to be seen or all the things, because it has been really challenging to be here as consciousness anchored in a body at this time, to interact with the systems and to know that you will not be interfered with or influenced, and you will not be knocked down or energetically manipulated with ever again, and just clearing through any of the parts that have not shown up to the larger scale impact that you're here to make, because it does not want to be fully realized, and it does not, or it fears in any way being harmed again. Mm. Okay, here's the next layer here. Now, inviting your body to call forward any parts, any fears, any stories, any layers of energy, which means this is going to be anything throughout your spirit body as well. It could be from this life, it could be from another experience, it could be from another dimension that is holding on to these wounds of abandonment. And this feels so much deeper than like human abandonment, like people leaving. It feels more like how do I say this? Like feeling abandoned here on Earth, like just dropped into this planet at this time with all this chaos. And for many, many years, not having the connection to your guides, your guardians, even to the higher aspects of yourself, to your higher line, to your soul, your oversoul, your avatar, your monad, to source field. This feeling of being, whew, even Nomi's helping clear this one. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thank you, Nomi. Yeah. Shh, shh, shh. Hey, buddy. Okay. The feeling of, in some way, feeling weak or not strong enough, or just all these stories that we take on from feeling that abandonment and disconnection. So, calling forth any wounds of separation that your body has been holding onto that has resulted in a disconnection between you and your spirit body. Just going to all those places that show up, and some of them may be showing up out around your body, outside of your body. Just continuing to work with that grid, that golden light, pulling it through. And then we have just one more layer here that we're going to be intentionally addressing in our collective field that is going to serve the highest alignment of humanity at this time. And this is going to be calling forth any part of us that believes in the story of your mortality and fears death so deeply that it has prevented you from fully living and being in the seat of your command, and what it looks like to be in the seat of your command is something, I can share a little story here as this is coming up because it feels I'm being guided and nodding yes to share of this experience that I had with panic attacks. I was like just running into the fear of them and the fear of this panic attack and the fear of dying and all these things, and forgetting that I could just go into the center and just say, I command this to stop now. And the moment that I reminded myself and woke up from that dream of dying, the forgetting because of these imprints, and I just commanded it to stop, I have not had a panic attack since, because that is who we are. But this overlay that has been imprinted into our bodies, that we are weak and powerless and we will die potentially poorly and we should fear that, ultimately keeps us focused on that fear in moments when our body is expanding, and that expand cracks us open and we forget to sit in our power, and that we have the autonomy to direct energy to serve us in our highest and best. So let's really dig deep on this one. Dig deep down into your bones and down into the marrow and down into your blood. And find any points that are remaining in your body that are feeling any type of constriction or any type of discomfort or any type of angsty energy or any type of emotion, and going to those points and starting to do the same thing that we've been doing, pulling that golden light that's coming through, going to the center of where the vertical and horizontal lines meet and sparking that synapse open. Ooh. And as you start to feel that completing for you, if you still have more coming up, then just stay in it. Just keep going. Ask your body to show you the core. If you've not reached the core, ask your body to show you the core. Ask if there's any remaining aspect of you that is still holding on to it being safer to not be fully running your power, to not be fully activated and in the seat of your command and a leader here of light and liberation. Oh, last one here coming up now in the field is this one you may find simultaneously outside of your physical body and your spirit bodies, kind of above your head, to the front or the back of your head, and inside of your body. And this is the belief that your body cannot hold all of you, or that if you fully enter your body, it's going to die and be destroyed. Going in and clearing that. Or that if you fully come into your body and ground here, your highest consciousness in your body, that things will have to rapidly, spontaneously change around you so quickly. And any part of you that fears that change or fears the new being that you will be, or the processes that your body will go through to upgrade and hold higher frequencies, and has thus been continuing to push the soul back up and out from grounding in all the way down to the earth star chakras below the feet. You'll know when the process is intimately complete in your vessel. So you will feel that shift of no longer little popping places inside of you that's like, oh, here and here, and here's another one, here's another one. And many of them, there may not even be information that was there. It was just because we're working at the somatic, we're working in the soma, we're working in that field where we don't need all this information. We just go directly to the source of the energy and we shift it, bring consciousness into it. So we are going to now give our bodies, once you've completed and you've gotten to that place where you feel that it's almost just like this presence. Maybe it could be described as calm or peace or ease, openness. If you did twist your wrist ties so that you could have your hands, you can slowly start to untwist, but keep your hands through the wrist and just get it so that you can start to wiggle one of your hands out a little bit while keeping it still in there, but just so that you will be able to quickly release it. And And in the process of unraveling, there may be a little last layer that tries to come through, and that's perfect too. Just go ahead. You know what to do. And once you're ready, you're going to slip your hand out and you are going to literally, like you are breaking chains off your body, you are going to fling your hands apart and expand your wings out, your arms out, open up, and start pouring that golden light that's been coming through all through your body, all through your vessel. Start running it through all of the channels that we've been opening. Just feel that energy expanding through you. And bring your hands down whenever you feel. And just taking a moment to orient yourself now here in this version of you that is liberated and resolved. It is at the seat of your power. So whilst we have support energetically right now from these inner plasms that are coming from the planetary core and the inner domains, this golden, these metallic frequencies are really coming in from like the D13, that's dimension 13 energy field of the planet, and these metallic colors and spectrums of frequency that are going to be running and coursing through the planet for the next several months, actually. Uh, it's just opening now. It's going to continue to grow and grow and grow, which is allowing us to really get into clearing out like really deep things that have been influencing the abilities of our bodies to fully come back online. With that being said, this particular technique that we've been shown and we've just gone through can be utilized as well in the day-to-day experience of your healing process, your integration as you go in and you experience things in your body. Like let's give a really basic human thing. Like let's say you have like congestion or like a digestive thing going on, or anxiety or anything like that. Like you can get into this space that we entered into, run the frequency. You don't have to do the ties. You don't have to, bind your hands up. That was just for this particular thing that we were clearing today of this layer. Because now that you have gone through this process of getting back into this seat of your power and like remembering and reminding your soul, like, oh, wow, like this is who I am. This is what I can do all the time. No longer bound to be in that command center, and to start running frequency more auspiciously through your body in the ways that it's designed to run, then you can start going into all these little things that show up and just go and poof, integrate. Because everything is just energy that gets stagnant. It gets, swampy, it gets damp, or it gets dry, and it goes through these different things. And you just go and bring that currency, that frequency through and find that resolution quite quickly in these moments. So let this be a rolling technique, right? When we are given these techniques in this way, we have them, we have been gifted them, and it's important that we utilize them and continue to develop these remembrances at a physical level, like embodied, the embodiment of the information. So let me see if there's anything else that they would like to share or in part with this technique, so I'm going to be quiet for a moment here. So the last thing they want me to share is to just be in a regular like a regular energetic hygiene of going and consciously tuning in, like we did at the very beginning, of the energy that's vibrating up and down vertically through your body, through your meridians, through your axonal lines, and then the energy that's vibrating horizontally, and just do it, just several breaths, become aware, bring your consciousness through it, connect the grids together, and then just run energy through it. Because what ends up happening is like these are, in these places, in these positions where people feel like, oh, there's like a entity that's here, or I'm getting interference over here. Like it's just stuff that's coming into literally to your grid. And it can come into your grid when your grid has got a little murky because you're just not consciously utilizing it and running energy and keeping it optimally. It's like if you don't brush your teeth regularly, right? So just regularly start to run energy through your grid. And if you ever feel like, oh man, this person's thoughts are like lingering with me for a really long time, or something funky's in the fields, or I'm feeling something going on over here, just like literally find wherever that point is and do this practice and just command it out of your field. So I hope that you have all had a realization, a moments of appreciation of who you are, of what your body is. May this be the beginning, a new beginning for all of us in our bodies that is incredibly liberated, and not just in like the human sense, but in the sense of our multidimensional nature and the full capacity of what our bodies are destined to become in this life. So this is going to complete our technique. What you can do is you can your energetic field is always operating in this way, so you don't need to like really do anything with it. This energy is going to be continuing to run through the planet. So if it's evening where you're at and you want to just slip into sleep, and beautiful. If it's daytime where you're at and you want to go, go into nature and actually go and connect, you can start to feel that oneness field, because this grid that you've connected within yourself is running through everything all around you, and you can actually start to feel and tap into the unified field and oneness. Plants are really easy to do it with first. So you can go and connect with some plants, and you can connect with these things. So let's just all collectively take a nice deep breath in, pulling this golden light in, pulling our awareness back very physically to our body, in at the surface, like the surface of your body, your skin, like your drama, and just, place your hands somewhere on your body. And just take a nice deep breath in and out. Whenever you are ready, can start to open your eyes. And make sure I'll leave a little space here if anyone has any questions or shares, but I will stop the recording before that. I just want to make sure in the recording that, you make sure to stay hydrated, take a salt bath if you can, fluids, juicy fruit, salts, all the things to support your body in running energy and frequency. And that is going to wrap up this recording.